मैं come in?
हाँ, ये क्या बात है? डोर में आइए। अनूप,
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon,
sir.
Anup. Sit down, Anup.
Thank you, sir.
What is the meaning of Anup, भाई? कुछ नाम, कुछ है meaning? Anup का?
Sir, it means unique.
Unique. Oh wow, that's great. Tell me some uniqueness about yourself.
Sir, I would like to believe that all of us are unique
Very
in
good.
our own ways.
Very good. हाँ.
And sir, the fact that my parents named me Anup, they must have seen something unique in me.
अच्छा.
Sir, I was having this discussion with our matron, having studied in a boarding school, who is like a mother to me. So she said that the fact that I have a very modest nature and being soft-spoken makes me unique. Apart from that, sir, whenever I find an opportunity, I take initiative, sir, maybe to solve a problem.
Oh really?
Or-
Tell us one or two instances where you have taken initiative and solved the problem.
Sir, recently I was associated with Rourkela administration.
If you want to remove mask,
हाँ,
you can.
Because we are
As you
without
wish.
mask.
It is a safer distance.
I
So
think,
if you
yeah,
want, you can remove.
it.
Yes, sir. Thank
As
you
you
so
like.
much, sir.
You see, in the UPSC they give you a shield.
Yes.
So that if you can get used to, that will be better. Mask नहीं वो shield दे रहे हैं. तो हाँ, अब बताइए.
So,
Yes, sorry, you were saying something.
yes. Sir, I was associated with Rourkela administration as a volunteer in the vaccination drive, sir.
Oh, very good.
So we saw that there was lots of shortage of manpower
Uh-huh.
in the vaccination centers. So we
Okay.
used ADM's Twitter handle
Huh.
to call for more volunteers.
Okay.
What they did, sir, that many of the elderlies at that particular time, COVID registration was compulsory, and they did not have registration.
Yeah.
So we used
They
the
didn't know
volunteer.
how to register themselves. Huh?
Yes, sir. So we took the help of volunteers who came with their laptop, mobile phones
Oh,
to
good.
register for them. Apart from that, crowd management, COVID protocol following.
Oh, very good.
So we also gave a name to it, sir. It was Mo Sahayak, where we established a grievance redressal in all the vaccination centers.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I wish you get an opportunity to say all this in the UPSC board also.
Thank you, sir.
This is very impressive and very good. Very noble thing you have done. Now, what is it? Dayananda Sagar College? I mean, is it same Dayanand Saraswati? Or this somebody, some other Dayanand Sagar?
Sir, it's not the same, sir.
Huh.
See, Dayanand Sagar was a social reformer who also was an educationist. Later, he joined politics, sir.
Oh, he joined politics?
Yes.
Where in Orissa?
No, sir. In Karnataka, Bengaluru.
Oh, Bangalore. You are from Orissa, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are a Oriya. Huh? But your name is Garg.
Yes, sir.
Garg is a Gotra. no?
Yes. So my grandfather had shifted from Haryana to Odisha
Oh, from
for
Haryana?
employment.
Which
Yes.
part of Haryana?
Sir, Mahendragarh district.
Oh, Mahendragarh.
But I was born and brought up in Rourkela itself.
So your grandfather, what was he doing? Some industry or business or what?
Sir, at that particular time, Rourkela steel plant had come up in 1957.
So he joined the Rourkela steel plant.
No, sir. So he got an opportunity there because there was lots of economic opportunity. So he opened a retail shop there, sir.
Oh, retail shop. It's booming.
Sir, it is doing good, sir.
And who is looking after? Why don't you look after that?
So my father and my elder brother is looking after it.
Oh, they are looking after that?
Yes.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, somebody should because your grandfather has started. Okay, Bishop Cotton. What is this Bishop Cotton? It's a name. Cotton is a name, right? Is it the same Cotton College in Guwahati? The same
Sir,
person?
inspired by the same person, sir. At that particular time during...
What's his full name? Cotton?
Sir, Edward Lynch Cotton, sir.
Yeah, Edward Lynch Cotton. Correct. Huh. So you really enjoyed your school days in Bishop Cotton.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes.
Achha, very good. Tell me something about Vishwesvaraya. Because you are passed out from that university, right? Vishwesvaraya University.
Sir, M. Visvesvaraya.
Sir Vishwesvaraya.
Yes.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, M. Visvesvaraya was a civil engineer by profession who had later joined the government. And he is known for various of his works, sir. He was a chief flood protector in
Do
the...
you know any of his book?
I'm sorry, sir. I should
He
have known
written
this.
on planning in India. You know that? On planning. That was the first book, so to say, at that time. Vishwesvaraya wrote a book on planning. Okay, good.
Thank you,
go
sir.
on.
I will definitely go back and look into it.
Go on.
So he was a chief flood protector in the Vizag region, sir. Apart from that, sir, he is known for planning the Jayanagar region in Bengaluru. And as a Diwan of Mysore, sir, sir also was associated with establishment of SBI Mysore at that particular time and Mysore soap factory. And because of his achievements, sir, Engineers Day in the country is celebrated on his
On what day?
Sir, 15th of September.
Okay, very good. So that is about him. Industrial engineering, what did you study? What is your optional? Public administration.
Yes.
Huh? Okay. There's what subject did you study in industrial engineering and management?
Sir, it was a combination, sir. We studied some subjects from mechanical engineering, and in the final year, it was more of management. So, idea of industrial engineer is to optimize the resources, sir, in an industry so that to produce the goods in the least cost possible.
Oh, good. Now, mechanical engineering you have studied. Do you remember thermodynamics? How many laws are there?
Yes, sir. Three laws.
Three. Do you remember all the three of them?
Sir, I'm not able to recall.
At least one?
Sir, I'll go back and look into it. Sir.
When is your interview?
11th of May, sir.
Oh, 11th May. You still have time. Okay, good. Now, what are your hobbies like? Hobbies, what have you written? Taking initiatives. Oh, COVID that you have mentioned. Watching movies based on real life stories. Which one have you seen lately?
Sir,
real life story you are writing.
1232 kilometers, sir. It was on the migrants and their way back during the lockdown. Apart from that, sir, I also saw The Founder, which is a movie based on how McDonald's came into being and what are its USP that separates it from other restaurants that is succeeding even now, sir.
Okay, you were in Rourkela for so many years, right? What sort of steel they produce? The plant, the Rourkela steel plant.
Sir, it is known as mild steel.
What is mild steel? Can steel be mild?
Sir, there are two types of steel. One is carbon steel, another is mild steel. So the percentage of carbon in the mild steel is more than things. Yes, 1.6%.
And in the carbon steel?
I think it's around 0.8%, sir.
Where is it used, mild steel?
Sir, multiple products is being made by the Rourkela steel plant. We see TMT bars, HR coils, and even for defense industry, we see that the Rourkela steel, mild steel is being used.
Now, today in India, is there excess supply of steel?
Sir, yes, we are net exporter of steel, and we see that our production is around 110 million tons. And
not only that, we are imposed what is known as safeguard duty. You know what is a safeguard duty?
Yes, sir.
The reverse of anti-dumping duty, safeguard duty.
When any country subsidizes its exports, then the recipient country, to guard against the low price, can impose a temporary safeguard duty.
You know against which countries we are imposed? It's not against all countries. Which countries?
Sir, I can remember two, sir. One is China and second is Japan.
Very good. These are the two mainly.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Sharma.
Industry 4.0, what is this?
Sir, Industry 4.0 is essentially a continuity of IR 3.0, which was a drive towards automation, but at a much larger scale and introduction of new technologies, sir. For instance, artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, etc., sir.
Okay, Justice Deepak Gupta was once addressing a conference in Supreme Court. He said, majoritarianism is an antithesis to democracy. Majoritarianism is an antithesis to democracy. What is your take on it?
Can I take few seconds, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in my view, sir, I support the statements made by the Honorable Judge. In a democracy, sir, we see that all of the people, regardless of their own preferences, are equal and are given equal rights. They have an equal say in the government, and that is why, sir, democracy itself says of the people, for the people, and by the people. So, majoritarianism has no place as far as democracy is concerned, sir. But democracy should take care of all the citizens, irrespective of whether they are majority or minority.
Okay, what is the difference between manager and a leader?
Sir, a single person can play both the roles at times, but the difference between them can be, sir, firstly, manager, the aim is to get the job done. So that is more about the short term. Whereas a leader's job is to inspire people, is to focus on long term, is to make more leaders so that there is a cyclical sustainable process in the organization.
A civil servant should be a good leader or a good manager or combination of both.
Sir, combination of both. For instance, sir, I recently worked as a volunteer. So I saw that ADM ma'am, when she was managing the vaccine, she was acting more of a manager. She was ensuring that the supplies are there on time, there is adequate human resource, etc. But when she used to address all the people together, then her job was to motivate everybody, because at that particular time the situation was so tough for everybody. So it was her duty to keep the team's interest ahead of her own interest and ensure that we all are motivated to work for the people.
Okay, were the civil servants always recruited through competitive examination? Let's start from British period till now.
No, sir. Competitive examinations came only from the 1850s, as we see.
1855, that's right. Yes. And prior to that?
Prior to that, sir, Court of Directors in the East India Company, they were responsible for nominating.
Nominating, that's right. Up to 1854, nomination, then 55, competitive examination. So who was the first person to compete in the competitive examination from our country or Indian civil service?
Sir, as far as I can remember, it was Shri Satyendranath Tagore ji.
Yeah, Mr. Satyendranath, yeah, late Satyendranath Tagore, you are right.
Thank you, sir.
And now, if we talk about lateral entry.
Yes.
So, what is your take on it? Whether at all it should be only through competitive examination, whether at all it should be only through lateral entry, or it should be a combination of both, and is being done now. What is your take on it?
Sir, I believe it should be combination of both, because generalists are equally important in an administration, as administration is inherently interdisciplinary in nature, sir. But then given the fact that the administration is becoming more and more complex, sir, so we need the support of the specialists too. So there should be, we can have a proper dovetailing of both the people so as to maximize public service delivery, sir.
Okay, related with your industrial engineering and management, who grants CTE and CTO? You know CTE and CTO, consent to establish, consent to operate, you know?
Sir, pardon me, sir, I do not know. I will go back and look into it.
Okay, no problem. So we were talking about Sir Visvesvaraya, Moksha Gundam Visvesvaraya. Why do we call him Sir, by the way?
Sir, it's because of his achievement that the British government at that particular time.
Knighthood.
Knighthood, yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Did he get any civilian award?
Sir, M. Visvesvaraya was awarded the highest civilian
Which
award.
Is that highest
Bharat
civilian
Ratna.
award? Bharat Ratna. Only engineer. Is there any other engineer whom you are very proud of other than Visvesvaraya, Sir Visvesvaraya?
Sir, we see that many of our, especially the IT engineers, have done extremely well. I can recall Shri Paras Agarwal at this moment, who is heading the Twitter. He is
there any from mechanical engineering? Mechanical engineering?
That too in India.
Sir, I'm not able to.
Who's known as Metro Man?
Yes.
Metro Man.
Delhi Metro.
Yes, sir. Shri E. Sridharan ji.
Sridharan ji. So you are very proud of him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, vaccination related. You have been involved in that. What is this RNA COVID-19 vaccine? Is there any?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, it is the new technology of vaccine making and delivering, wherein we see that mRNA is an instructor molecule which instructs the body to produce spike protein, which ultimately leads to development of antibodies against the spike protein in the body, sir. As far as I can remember, sir, I think Pfizer is an mRNA vaccine in the country.
Okay, my last question, startup ecosystem, where do we stand in the world? At which place?
So we are third largest
Third
tech-based
largest, that's
startup.
right. First is?
United States of America.
Second?
China, sir.
So how many startups do we have now, and how much is the increase over the last 4 years or so?
Sir, as far as I can recall, sir, the last more than 60,000 startups have been registered.
More than?
60,000, sir, till now, I think.
I think it was 723 about 4 years back, and now it is 14,000.
I'm sorry, sir.
I think so. You can check the figures. Anyway, what is unicorn?
Sir, a company whose valuation is more than $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That is a unicorn.
That is a unicorn. What is the progress related with this during past 3-4 years? And how many unicorns are there at present?
Sir, it is more than 50, but I'm not very sure.
It is 83 as per economic survey.
Thank you, sir.
And now the number might have increased by 1 or 2. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Bisra Road. So, who was Bisra Munda?
Sir, Bisra Munda was a tribal leader who is known for the rebellion, as we had seen in that Munda rebellion in the Chota Nagpur plateau at that particular time. And he had also come out with his own religion, sir, Bisariyat, as we call it. And he has also done a lot for the local people in the field of land rights and promoting local language at that particular time.
So now you have the recent education policy.
Yes.
So what are the salient five salient features of this present day education policy?
Sir, firstly, the policy is divided into two. One is for the pre-primary and primary school education as a whole, and second is for the higher education. Firstly, sir, the government is focusing on pre-primary education, wherein we see it will become compulsory, and idea is to universalize it. Second, sir, the focus is on foundational learning and numeracy, wherein we have launched Nipun Bharat in that direction for class 3 till class 3 students. Thirdly, sir, the structure of school will change, and we'll see now that it will become 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, sir. And in the higher education, sir, focus now on promoting multidisciplinary education. Academic bank of credits has been established. And finally, sir, we see that the funds allocation will increase in the future. The target is to bring 6% of the GDP in the education sector.
What about the regional language learning at the primary level?
Yes, sir.
Local language or regional language?
Sir, mother tongue will be promoted till class 5 and preferably till class 8.
Till class 8. In most of the states, there are no regular teachers, ad hoc or different names in different states. But regular teachers, primary school teachers or middle school teachers or say secondary, higher secondary school teachers. Then what type of the education policy we are having? Is it on all superficial?
Sir, no, sir. I do accept that there is a challenge as far as the teachers are concerned, sir. For example, I am from Odisha, sir, and in Odisha there is more vacancy of more than 20,000 teachers, if we see, sir.
Vacancies?
Yes, sir. But then we see that the government is working towards it, sir. We see in the national education policy itself, there is an entire part which is specified for teachers. For instance, education will be promoted among teachers. There will be more institutions. Soft skills will be promoted. More autonomy will be given to teachers. And as far as recruitment is concerned, sir, that is also another issue. But I see that, for example, Odisha government has come out with more school policy and under the 5T. And there we have seen that the recruitment of teachers has been expedited, sir. So I hope that in the future we'll see more and more progress in that on that front, sir.
My point is that the governments are more interested in buildings and equipments rather than the recruitment of the teachers. In Delhi itself, there are 46,000 ad hoc teachers. And during our days, when we were the students, all the vacancies were the regular teachers. And this is the trend throughout the country. So again, my point is whether we should pay more attention to the material power or the
man management or the recruitment of the teachers in education policy?
Sir, it is actually context based. We see for example, in states like Odisha, we see that still we are focusing on quantitative indicators. Sir. The gross enrollment ratio is very low. Number of schools are also less. And for example, in place like Delhi, we are now moving towards learning outcome. So there we need to ensure that teachers are provided more training and the ad hoc training also by talking about. Sir, the one issue that we face is that there is compulsory B.Ed that we see qualification, and because of that, sir, many of the teachers may not have adequate qualification in that direction. But the government is also supporting the existing contractual teachers as well as focusing on new recruitments as well, sir.
In physics, you must have learned the Einstein theory of relativity.
Yes, sir.
And what is this theory?
Sir, can I take few seconds? Sir, theory of relativity talks about the presence of gravity and also presence of black holes that we have seen, and that was recently concluded that it is true. So that's it, sir. I can remember these two.
What is this? E is equal to mc square?
Sir, I'm not able to recall.
What is E? What is
You will
M? What
tell,
is C?
think over it, you will tell. Immediate answer mat dijiye, can you recall? Who gave this equation?
E is equal to mc square.
Sir, it
Chalo,
was.
okay.
I should have known this, sir. I will definitely-
Nothing.
Yes.
Good. Anup, you are the topper of your university rank holder, huh?
Yes, sir.
Industrial, good. Now, so this is Karnataka University, no?
Yes, sir.
Belgaum. Yeah. Now, Sundargarh has given captains to the which game?
Indian hockey team, sir.
Have you asked this question, sir, when I was absent? No. Did you ask about hockey? No, sir, because I was absent. No, but how come that Sundargarh, a tribal district, and in fact, not one player, many national level players from your district. How do you explain this, Anup? No, hockey.
Sir, firstly, there is a historical reason, sir. In the region, missionaries had introduced hockey at a very early time.
Okay.
So that created a culture, sir.
Okay.
Secondly, sir, there's a lot of infrastructure. Rourkela Steel Plant is spearheading hockey in the district, sir. For instance, Rourkela Steel Plant alone manages more than 4 stadiums, wherein hostel, adequate diet, coaching, training is provided to the students. Thirdly, sir, there's a lot of competition also. For instance, inter-block competition, Gram Panchayat competition among the tribals also. And finally, sir, what happened was that in the beginning, many of the players succeeded. So that created role model for others, sir. And now after they have retired, for example, Shri Dilip Turkey, Shri Lazarus Barla, all of them have established their own mentorship and coaching centers in the district. So that provides a lot of motivation for others also, sir. And now we see that the government has decided to create 17 stadiums in 17 blocks of the district. And because of that, sir, we see next year World Cup also will be organized in Rourkela, the Hockey World Cup.
What is your 4th paper in civil services, general studies? What is it?
Sir, ethics, aptitude and integrity.
Should there be a separate paper for integrity, ethics? It was not there earlier. Why UPSC has introduced it as a separate subject?
Sir, can I take few seconds?
Yeah.
Sir, I believe that this paper, the liberty of saying that it is the most important paper as far as civil services are concerned, sir. Because ethics forms the foundation for any organization, and especially in civil services, where ultimate objective is to serve people at large. And so introducing this may actually help the UPSC to broad base the selection criteria and ensure that the most person who's
No,
most appropriate for the job is selected.
But testing the UPSC candidates separately and significantly with so many marks, it was not the practice earlier. It's a latter day introduction. Kyun?
Sir, I do not have the exact knowledge.
What could be the reason? What could be the reason?
Sir, one maybe after the inputs from...
No, decades after, a few decades after independence, UPSC thought it fit to test the candidates on integrity and ethics. What could be the reason? Like, for instance, fundamental duties introduced decades later into the Constitution. Why?
Sir, because it was thought that earlier that it is implicit and it is understood, but then later the government thought that putting it explicitly in our constitution.
In other words, there was a decline, perhaps perceptible. There was a perception that these standards are ethical standards, standards of integrity are declining, isn't it? So when you become the district collector, how would you ensure integrity, ethics in district administration? Will it be a priority for you, or?
So the topmost priority. Firstly, I will lead by example. By doing this, I'll ensure that my actions are always according to the code of conduct. Secondly, sir, I would ensure that there is more connect with the people, so that people themselves are able to ensure that the government functions for them. For instance, we can have grievance redressal mechanism, which is 24/7 directly on call, as we had seen in COVID. That becomes very easy for the people to complain. Similarly, sir, I would also take help of technology. For instance, we see that the government right now in Rourkela administration, what it has done, it has come with a QR code, sir. Every house has a QR code now. And so the Rourkela Municipal Corporation workers, when they come in the morning, it ensures that they go to every house. Earlier, they were skipping many houses. People could directly use the thing to communicate with the citizen administration.
Okay, Anup, you know, Rourkela was known for one of the worst communal riots sometime in the 60s or 70s, early 70s. Are you aware?
Yes, sir. I've heard.
How is the communal harmony in Rourkela now?
Sir, it is much improved. We see that there is a lot of bonding and unity among the people. For instance, in the recent festival only, we had seen, sir, that people from different communities, although it was Ram Navami, as I can recall, but people from different communities were providing food, water, and even hugging each other. So that kind of camaraderie is there among the people, sir. And I believe, apart from people, sir, I think the government administration has also taken a lot of steps. For instance, Rourkela or Odisha has come out with a community policing initiative, Ama Police. So where people are meeting, bonding with each other, understanding each other's perspective. So that has improved, sir.
Thank you. Sir, I'm done.
Thank you. Anup, you are very good. Your interview is on 11th of May.
Yes.
You still have some time. Brush up certain questions which you are not able to answer, precisely. Your background is good. Confidence is good. Keep up this. Only the tie I was wondering if you could change.
Okay, sir.
Am I right? Little broad and maybe some other color, bluish. Think about it.
Okay, sir.
Then current affairs, etc., especially about your own state, your subject, national, international. You opted for foreign service also, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you better keep track of happenings in, Ukraine and also Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka is also, we have to watch very carefully. So all that. And maybe you can take one mock once a week, but don't take every day.
Yes.
That way you'll get confused. Instead, read yourself, equip yourself, and then be very selective where you want to go. There are a number of institutions available. At least about half a dozen of them they stand out. They are very good. So consult people and then go. Okay? Good.
Any question?
Yeah, you want to add anything? Any of you want to add anything?
Anything you want to ask?
Sir, I just wanted to discuss two things. One was the issue of freebies, sir. we see that.
Three B's.
Yes.
Very good. The
Very
second.
important question.
Second.
And second was about the language, sir. That
What language?
Recently, the Honorable Home Minister, sir, had said that Hindi will be used as a national link language and compulsory in Northeast till 10th standard. So, sir, I am in favor of Hindi being promoted. But, sir, how do we portray in such a way?
Hold on. You see, in any such questions, don't straight away give your view.
Okay, sir.
Unless they specifically ask what are your views. You follow. Because the Hindi thing, of course, it's good to have one language, for the entire, but it's already there and people are trying to cope with it. So you say that it's good to have one there, but then we have to see. Maybe one has to go a bit slowly, take all people all along, together. Like that, don't say it is a very good thing, we must do it, come what may, don't do like that.
Yes.
That is one. Now, the other question was about your...
freebies.
Huh?
Freebies.
Freebies. I don't know. My personal view is it's a terrible thing which is happening, honestly. A precious thing like water, you can't be giving it free. In future, wars will be fought for water between countries. That's already happening. Sharing of water, with whether it is Pakistan or Bangladesh or whatever.
Yes, sir.
It's a very... You can't... Because if you give anything free, people have no value. They don't attach any importance to that. At least charge some nominal amount. Have a differential pricing for different sections of the population. Similarly, electricity. The cost of generation of electricity. Just for winning election, well, yes, it's okay.
जानते हैं दिल्ली में कितना इनको पेमेंट करना है, बड़ा ह्यूज अमाउंट which they are not able to do. ये related with water, related with electricity. दोनों का ही बहुत बुरा हाल है और काफी पेंडिंग है.
And you are committing future generation. You will have a good easy time. The future generation will find it very
We have
difficult.
to realize their potential और उसके according उनको उसको enable करना है कि वो उन्हें जरूरत ही ना पड़े ऐसी चीजों की.
क्योंकि once you give something free, you can't withdraw. You be very careful. You see, and so I don't know. If at all they ask you, say, sir, it's.
Sir, so you would like to say something? No, Mera, because no, you see, you are asking the board, what do you say? Members will be giving their own convictions with due respect.
Yes.
You ask me about language. You see, I come from a certain place. I may have my own, not only reason, but also emotion. There's no point in it. My suggestion, Anup, would be, these are all freebies. First of all, you have to define what is freebie. And then you cannot have opinion second hand, mind you, not in the UPSC. Myself. So where you are not aware, I would suggest go into standard. First of all, what is freebie? There cannot be an offhand answer to that. And then if that is so, then why are the governments giving? There are always pros and cons.
Yes.
So you will have to go into what are the reasons why, if it is so bad, then why is the government? Are we the only government doing it? Or are there, what about the economists? What is their views? Is there a contradiction? How do we reconcile the contradiction? So you have to shade it fine. That will come, and then you have to own it up. When you are not, that means when you are asking about free means or even Hindi, these are all very important questions. There is a history behind it.
Yes.
And assurances behind.
Yes.
Okay, but first of all, you have to thoroughly familiarize yourself. Go thoroughly into the question, pros and cons, history, and then form your own opinion. And then you stand by that opinion as to why you have arrived at. It's still possible that many of the board members, the board may be divided also.
Yes.
There is nothing. There is no standard response.
That is true.
At the UPSC level, you cannot borrow an opinion and then own it up and then give it. Then it won't be convincing.
Yes.
If you ask
I agree with you.
3-4 members, we will differ radically. We may have opposing views. But then if you ask me, I will stand by it as to why. You may agree, you may disagree. So never ask, and that too very serious matters like sensitive matter like language.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here the point of view, but then you have your own.
But
whatever you say, that should be supported with facts and figures.
And don't change your stand.
Pros and cons पहले बताइए, फिर facts figures के साथ अपना viewpoint, if at all it is asked.
But my own feeling is they may not ask such questions.
नहीं कुछ भी पूछ सकते
नहीं,
हैं.
कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, but
ऐसा भी
chances are.
पूछेंगे 3Bs वगैरह.
नहीं, 3Bs तो 3Bs तो.
3Bs ये जरूर.
Anyway,
Or
sorry,
where you are,
दूसरे का
it's
कुछ
a
नहीं
very
पूछ सकते,
contentious
but by and
issue,
large,
then you can be very honest, sir. That, yes, I have heard about it, though, but I have to go into that. I have not gone into the depth of sensitive issues. Be honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
Because don't borrow opinions.
Yes.
Never borrow opinions.
Yeah, this is the thing of very spontaneous.
Not at the UPSC level.
Yes.
हाँ भाई उसको बुलाओ और है अभी उसको बुलाओ
Any other questions?
No, sir.
No, you are a brilliant scholar.
Yeah.
Your brightness comes through. But then we are surprised about Einstein's that
Yes, sir.
energy, the speed. That's because you are a little tense. Otherwise,
Basics,
uh,
only
ba-
few basics.
that took us by surprise because you are a bright engineer, very intricate concept. This is a basic thing of Einstein.